I just had to count the days up there. It's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's Wednesday, so it's day 5. We've had quite a busy day today. We were out this morning clearing down around the pond. We thought we'd try and get, there's a fallen tree in the pond and we thought we'd try and get it out, but it's too big. We sent George into the pond and he almost got stuck. And that was quite funny. He had his wellies on, he nearly lost his wellies. We nearly lost George. So we decided to not get the big tree out the pond. However, we did clear some of the fallen, there are other fallen trees around there, so we cleared those away. It rained so heavily we stopped, it just rained. This is the nicest that it's been. We decided to do some work in the house. Not like building work, but just we reconnected the log burner in there. The two parents that are here cleaned the kitchen, because the kitchen's in quite good condition. Well, comparatively it's in quite good condition, but the units in the kitchen are new, or were new, but they'd left all the food in the last crowd and they were not nice. So they've been in there with hot water and bleach and they've tidied all that. So we'll go in and we'll have a look. We also tried to fit an automatic pump to the rainwater system and it just hasn't worked. It's another one of those things you buy from Amazon and it just doesn't work. It's quite frustrating, but it's not working. So it does pump water, but it doesn't shut off automatically. It's not a standard system. We've got flexible transparent piping going into, it's like 30mm pipe going into 50mm PEX, but it's definitely not shutting off. It should be shutting off and it's not. I mean, it's only 20 quid. The problem is when you buy these things and you have to enter into this weird dialogue with someone from China or whatever, and it's very difficult to get a resolution. You end up probably having to send it back, but it's already fitted, and is it worth it to send it back, all that bother, and in the meantime you've bought something that doesn't really work? It might be us, but it's not. It just doesn't work. It's just not switching off. Also, when we took it out of the box, water was coming out the pump section, so we think it's been a return. Worst case, this does actually work, but the system needs to be full, and the reason we wanted to fit an electric pump was so that when it wasn't quite full it would still fill. It had that assistance, so we can still turn it on. It's connected to the solar panels. We can still turn it on and we just need to turn it off manually once it's filled. So it's not ideal, but it sort of half works. But I'm going to be leaving a scathing review. Crazy. This was not good. I did not envy them. I really appreciate this. I did not envy them, the parents, this task. It's Thomas's parents, and they've just gutted this place. It's the first time that it's actually smelled clean. You know, it's just not been particularly nice. So all these shelves here had all that rotten food sitting on them, and I sort of cleared all the food out, put them in bins, and I squished a lot of bleach on it, but it wasn't good. So this place is looking, smells a lot better as well. Doesn't smell damp and rotten and horrible. So good job. Good morning. It's day 6, Friday of the camp. This is our last full day. Yesterday we had quite a busy day because the weather was nice. We were up at the tank. We think the tank is plumbed into a ditch that's been cut into the side of the hill. So we found the water control booklet. There's a folder that's been kicking around. I've never really paid much attention to it because it's out of date, but it did say it is the last sort of inspection that they did on the water supplies in there, and that was from 2016, and it talks about a storage tank and 2 source tanks. Now I don't think that there are source tanks. I think I might be standing in a source tank, which is just like a kind of a ditch that's been dug into the side of the hill to collect water. So it kind of just goes, it zigzags down, so it goes down and it zigzags back. And I think that it's not a spring per se, but the blue pipe that comes out of the back of the tank. The other thing is, I know I said I wouldn't be mucking about with this, but it's just that we read it in that booklet, so we thought we'd check. We think that there might be some sort of connection between the blue pipe that comes out the back and this here, and I think it's down there, to be fair, and I think it's so overgrown that we just can't find it. Now it might just be a simple case of that blue pipe coming directly out and we just need to trace a line and then dig a hole and try and find it, but there must be like a filter on the end of it, or another pipe or something, but it's so overgrown here that I think we'd struggle to find it without maps or drawings or something. So, and there isn't anything in that folder that says this is where it is. It just says this is what you do when you find it, but then you can't find it, so you can't do it. Anyway, I'm going to walk back down, and assuming I don't go thigh deep in a bog. So, and it zigzags up, and we think that's tank 1 and tank 2, and what we've been mucking about with is a holding tank, which kind of makes sense, but we just thought that was the tank, and there was maybe a pipe up across the hill that had perforations in it and it just collected water, but I don't think it worked like that. We think it's blocked. There's a blue water pipe that comes out of the bottom of one of those ditches into the holding tank, which is the thing we've been in, and we think that's blocked, and we think that it's quite deep in, not like hundreds of feet deep, but like maybe possibly 5 or 6 feet deep in the ground. So we're not going to try and dig that up, because we're putting that to one side, because we think when this building is renovated, we think it might just have a rainwater system as opposed to what's going on up there, so that'll be decommissioned. I just want to come in here and show you what we did in here, because on that wet day we couldn't really do anything outside because it was yucking it down rain, so we said we wouldn't do anything else in the house, but what we meant was anything else to the fabric of the house. But what we have done is we've refitted the log burning stove there, and we've been sitting in here these last 2 nights. The army tent's down, we've not been sitting outside. The upside is we've been warm here. This room does, it's not cold outside, but this room does warm up, despite the gaping holes in the roof. However, when we go to bed, it's really cold, because we're warm in here, and then we go outside, it's freezing. So, in the house, to summarise, we've tidied this room out, we've moved a lot of the mattresses out. You may remember there's a whole lot of mattresses up the back here. They're now they're in the outbuilding upstairs in that wee mezzanine. We've moved just stuff around a wee bit, and we've tidied up in here so we can use this space. The upstairs rooms, all the plaster is now out of those rooms, are empty, stripped back. There's still a wee bit of work to do, but they're done. The kitchen, I'll show you the kitchen. The kitchen's great. Also, the windows have all been cleaned. When Thomas's parents in, they cleaned the windows, and I'll show you what they did in the kitchen, because that was a big job. So we're in the kitchen now. I think I showed you a wee bit of the kitchen. You would have seen that earlier in the video. But this is just such a transformation, and ignore the walls and the ceiling. They're still grubby, but it's really... These units were fitted, I think, in 2016, I think. And they've got it up. So Thomas' parents just did such a good job. They took some of the pots and pans that were left and took those and washed them. And this now is a space that we could probably use. Actually, as time passes, the building is, I mean, it's going to get renovated. It will be renovated, but it's beginning to look more and more like a mountain bothy as the plaster gets taken off, and as these kind of a sort of a well-appointed mountain bothy. These cupboards were manky. They were just manky. All the rotten food was in here, and the shelves were stained, and now they're spotlessly clean. They absolutely gutted this place, and we're really pleased about that. So yeah, so all good. So we'll quickly nip down to the wildlife pond and see what we did there. We really didn't do that much because it just began to rain. Not just drizzle either, it was proper chucking it down. There are a gazillion toads down here. I think they've just been making their way down to the river and the pond. We also, I'll put a picture up, I took a terrible picture of the animal that was making this screech noise all through the night. It was an owl, 2 owls in fact, and they've been hunting. I got a picture of it was up in one of those trees up there, but anyway, I'll put that up here. There we go, a wee picture of an owl. There's a lot of wildlife down here, and if you're camping, it's very noisy. The cows, by the way, I think most of the cows are away now. I don't like to think where they've gone. I think they've gone for slaughter. and they moo all night. They loudly moo all night, and then the owls will catch something and there's an almighty racket with that thing dying and the owls just gorging themselves. I don't really know, but it's very noisy. So we're down at the pond. This is the area that we cleared here. We didn't clear as much as we wanted because A, it started to rain, and B, the tree that's in the pond is a lot bigger. It's a huge big tree. So let's go down and have a look. I'm not going to video this because I might fall on my arse. We didn't trim all of it because we really didn't have the heart. So we just trimmed here so we could get access to at least two of the trees that had fallen. And as you can see, we've piled them up a wee bit, and the big tree that's still in there is, yeah, we're not going to get that out. We took these apart and we were piled up a wee bit, just tidied up. But this tree here, which is well and truly in the pond, the bottom of that pond as well is seriously muddy. It's like super muddy. George went in and got stuck. He immediately had to be kind of helped out because it was just, he was sinking. It's day 8 and we're packing up. We've come full circle. We're not finished. We're just finished with this camp. And the last day of any week-long camp is always a bit depressing because, well, the camp's over. Which is actually something to be cheerful about, really, because it's a bit uncomfortable when you get to a certain age. But obviously we've had a lot of work done and everyone's had a laugh. But there's a lot of work to do. And getting comfy at the beginning of the week for the rest of the week, it means you've got a lot more to pack away at the end of the week. Anyone that's been in Scouts will recognise the tents and the activity. That's the age-old getting it back into the bag that it came out of. So go run that way, take 2 or 3 steps, and then flip it around. Oh no. So what you're going to do is you're going to run up, and then back, and then lay it down flat like that, but the other way around so that it all goes sort of flat. Like that. I know what I'm saying. Sort of. It's like I'm in the 1980s. We don't pack our pegs, main guys, etc. in with the tent. We just have these crates and we just keep everything together. This is another age-old thing. We always cut up old tyre in our tubes and use them as sort of heavy-duty rubber bands to pack our poles, but they're always an absolute bugger to get in. They're making that look annoyingly easy. That's actually really quite annoying. That is us. Just going to do a final walk round. Our water system at the beginning of the week was the big job. Getting toilets that flushed. And it worked. The toilets never didn't flush. It fulfilled its purpose. There was a lot of toilet nerves. It never came to that, so that's all good. Just making sure the doors are locked and just having a roundup. What did we achieve this week? Actually quite a lot, despite the weather. We just took the tents down there and it started to rain, but we did get them in dry. The building inside, we cleared the 2 top rooms. That was going to be a job because it's mucky, and it was mucky. We used our Storchlurf and it worked really well. That's locked. We reconnected the log burner, which was a good job. We moved a lot of mattresses, the old mattresses that were in the communal room, and we put them up here, so they're in that mezzanine on the lean-to there. So we did that. Thomas's mum and dad came down and spent 2 days here. The first day was cleaning and gutting the kitchen, and that is such a good job, and we're really grateful for that. They also came back a second day and cleaned all the windows, so it just makes the place looked after, and that's really what we're doing just now. It's all cosmetic stuff. The sash windows are back in place. and we're back round to the front door. It's all locked up, that's fine. And we also cleared this door here, this emergency exit, so that's clear. It's locked from the inside now. So, and that's us. Our campsite is clear. We've done a peg and litter sweep and we're going home now. We're going to stop in Jedburgh for an ice cream because that's what you do. That's how we roll. This is an old school summer camp. I am, however, glad to be going home. Thanks for watching.